Hello everyone, this is Anne from Odulcina Scrap. Today we are decorating the cover of the lapbook. So as you can see, I don't know where I'm going. So if you feel like that, don't worry. We're all in the same boat. So I just gathered a couple of laces that I thought I could use in the white, beige, um, I have my dress that I printed on fabric that I want to use as the decoration on the cover, but other than that, I've been just trying and removing and just trying over and over. And as soon as I got something that I liked, I decided that I wanted to sew it at the machine. I love to sew. Honestly, this one has been a challenge. So I strongly suggest you just use the hot glue. Maybe the only part that I really that I'm happy that I've been sewing it is this side. On the side like that, I love to put a piece of fabric, and the fact that it's sewn, it feels to me like it will hold more, and it gives a good finishing touch, I would say. But other than that, using a sewing machine or the hot glue or Fabri-Tac, to my own opinion, would give the same effect. The only thing you have to do here is that cotton stripe that I've been using for the border. As you can see, it's longer, so it's hanging out about like at least 3/4 to of an inch or to an inch, the minimum, because we're gonna use this to glue it or sew it to the spine of the lap book. So this is how I'm gonna attach the spine to the cover. So you really need to start with a piece of fabric that is the whole length of the lap book, and you glue it on one side, which is that cover, and on the other side, which will be the spine that you're gonna see later. Other than that, I'm just creating folds and placing my laces to the best that I can remember because they all moved. That's the thing. I tend to not use glue because it breaks my thread all the time. In this case, my thread broke just because I got into one of the beads there. So be careful with the beads and the glue if you're using some glue. Other than that, it's just a matter of sewing through the laces, the fabric, the cardstock, the papers, and it goes well. But I found it would have been easier with just using glue. I'll let you watch in a speedy mode all the sewing and some gluing with the hot glue on the cover, but then I'm gonna come back and talk again. So we are done with the cover. Now I want to attach the spine. So this is where the fabric that is longer will be in use. As you can see, I'm gluing my spine to the fabric. So the fabric is kind of doing the join between the two pieces of cardboard, which is the spine and the cover. And I'm gonna do the same for the other side of the spine and the back of the book. So I'm using glue. I could have been sewing, and this one, it's just a muslin cotton that I bought on Amazon, I think, a few years ago. So like 3 years ago. And I washed it and put it into the dryer. And it created all those folds. And I'm just in love with that fabric. So it's just a plain muslin cotton. As you can see, it creates the join there. So I'm giving a lot of glue, and I've mixed both the hot glue and the 3-in-1 glue. So my thinking there is that the 3-in-1 glue will hold more and maybe last longer in case I have a cheap hot glue stick that, how can we know, right, how long it's going to hold or if it's a good quality or not? So I'm using the hot glue to glue it faster, and I'm using the 3-in-1 glue as kind of a backup glue. Here we go. We decorated the cover and attached the spine. So we now have a cover, a spine, and the back of the lap book. And then when we open like that, we have two smaller spine and two more sides. So this is a version of a lap book. And now I'm gonna attach the signatures. So I gathered together 5 pages of coffee stain paper and tracing paper 4 times. So it's 4 signatures, but there's only 5 papers on each. So every kind of signature will have 5 papers folded into 2, that makes 10, and both sides that makes 20 pages each. So it's going to be a lap book of 20 pages multiplied by 4 signature, so 80 pages so far, which is pretty good. Okay, so what I'm doing is I want to put 3 holes per signature, and I'm just trying to align them so they are not so close, about an inch from the top and in the middle about. So I'm just measuring my stuff and putting my little dots there. You can eyeball a little bit. I mean, it's not a big deal. Everything will be hidden at the end. But I kind of measured it this way. As you can see within the spine, I need a space before, in the middle, and after the dots. Now I'm punching my holes already. So because there's the big cardstock there. And now I'm going to take each signature, and I'm taking the middle page, placing it where aligned as I would like it to be, putting a little mark aligned with the little holes that I've already done, and this will be kind of my template. So I'm gonna create my holes right away based on the little marks that I've done on the paper. And now I'm going to place it back in the middle of my signature. And because I already have the holes done for in the middle page, it's going to be easy to just hold the paper together and punch the hole through the whole signature. The best would be maybe to use a dictionary like I typically and usually do, and put paper clips to keep all of your papers together. But that day I was lazy and I thought it's only 5 pages, so I'll just go without paper clips and everything. But honestly, I struggled a little bit with my signatures, so you should put paper clips to hold all of your papers together, I suggest. And I was really lazy, so as you can see, I kept my middle page to punch the holes on the other signature. Anyway, my holes are there, so I just need to go with the thread and attach my signature now. Because I don't want any beads or the thread to hang down, I'm just measuring twice the length of the lap book, the signature, and a little extra to give me an extra in case. In this video, I'm gonna just show you how I sewn one signature because it's the same for all the others. But you start from inside of your signature, going outside, and here you go. I'm struggling because I didn't use any paper clips. And then I go through the cardstock and go out. I typically find it hard to pull the needle through the cardboard, so I use pliers. It goes really well. If you had never tried it, try it. Then you go back in. It can be the lower holes or the higher holes. It doesn't matter at all as long as you come back through one of the other holes. And you're gonna go from there and inside the signature to the opposite hole. So if you took the one higher, you're gonna go down, and if you took the lowest, you're gonna go up. Doesn't matter at all. It depends my mood, I guess. And again, I'm struggling because I didn't use paper clips. Because if you use paper clips and you only have 5 papers, I can tell you, because I did it for the other signatures, but not on camera, it goes so well and so fast. So don't forget, you still need to go through the cardboard. I did that once, doing the signature and forgetting the cover. Don't do that. And once you're out, sometimes you have the challenge there where you're a little bit out of loose thread, so you need to kind of pull through the previous parts of the thread to give you some more thread. And this is what I'm struggling with right now, because you cannot really just pull from the end. You kind of have to pull the thread per sections, kind of. And you go back in the middle from outside in the same hole that you've been out initially. The challenge is that the hole is small, there's already one thread in, and you don't want to go through that thread, because if you go through that thread, you cannot really put the good tension at the end when you want to do your knots. So that's really the challenge, to not get the initial thread in your needle. But other than that, it's the most challenging part, but we end up being okay. And again, I'm struggling here because I didn't put paper clips. Literally. So put some paper clips. And we are almost done. So we just need to do the knot. Now at this point, I just want to make sure that my thread looks fine, the tension looks good everywhere. And then I'm gonna pass one thread on each side of the one that goes from the bottom to the high and do 2 knots. And we're done. For now, I won't do anything with those threads. I might decorate them later on. But that's it. So you see here, I skipped a couple of minutes, but I've attached all the 4 signatures following the same process. And this is what we have right now. We have 4 signatures and we have a lap book that starts to be a little bit more complete. All right, in the next video, I'm gonna decorate the covers of those 2 signatures. I hope you enjoyed and see you in the next video. Bye bye.